Ms. Donnelly, thank you very much for being here tonight.
Pleasure.
What do you think of the Young European Council, of so many young people coming together to have long days at the European Parliament and discuss about tough challenges?
I think it's a really great idea for a number of reasons. Firstly, I think the idea of bringing people together from 28 member states is really terrific because you learn so much about other people, you start to understand their culture, and hopefully you have a bit of fun as well. I think that's the first thing. The second thing is that for young people to already start to do that at an early stage influences the direction of their thought process for the rest of their lives. And I think we can only benefit from that opening at a very early stage. And I suppose the third issue is I hope that you come forward with somewhat radical ideas to shake us older people up and to make us think, are we on the right track or not?
Radical ideas is the right point, because we have a panel on energy and climate change, and when we look at the perspectives of climate change, some radical ideas are really needed.
Yes.
What input would you like to have from such a panel with so many young people from Europe coming together?
Well, you know, energy and climate change is a young person's topic, because we are talking about your future, and you should have a say in your future. Firstly, do you have a future is the first question, if you were very, very intense on the climate side. But if I look at energy specifically, I think the question about energy going forward is one that we need to reframe in a slightly different format. Historically, we have tended to think of energy from the perspective of coal or gas or oil or even renewables. I think we need in the future to focus much more on the services that we get from energy. And given that there are only 3 services, heating and cooling is 50% of our energy consumption, mobility is about 1/3, and power is about 20%. And it is those services that we will need in the future. But the real question that we need to address is, how do we achieve those services in a cost-effective way, in a sustainable way, in a way that's reliable and secure, without tying ourselves to the fuels that can deliver it? And how can we structure a market that is truly democratic, that allows everybody to take an active role in the market and not just be the recipient of a bill at the end of the month?
The climate crisis is one crisis we are facing. Europe is right now facing many others. How important are NGOs like Young European Leadership to actually open Europe to young people and actually bring them here? Would you have liked to have more young people meeting you and giving you inputs from time to time?
I certainly would, but I think it's an opportunity, but it's also a challenge. Of course, people can come with their own ideas, and it's a reflection of the young generation and how the young generation thinks. And I think that's very important to confront, shall we say, the old generation with the way the old generation thinks. But to be really effective, as I often say to my colleagues, if you're going to be really effective when you speak with an audience, you have to communicate with them in their language. Not just linguistically, of course, but in the way that they think, because otherwise they will reject your ideas as being too strange. So it does require a little bit of investment for young people to acquire a certain amount of the terminology, understand the thought process, and from within the thought process come with the new ideas, because I think the capacity to have their ideas accepted is much higher if they can do it like that.
Well then, in the name of Young European Leadership, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.